What is up, y'all? My name is Empress Aloe Vera, and today I'm here to talk to you about baybayin. So for those of you who don't know, it is the pre-Spanish colonial indigenous script of the Philippines. I had first came across it in high school, actually. So as many of you probably know, I grew up hating being half Pakistani, and as a few of you know, I actually thought I would do something like concept art for video games when I was younger. So I was in a lot of art classes in high school, and for my media arts project, my very first one, I had to make a mixed media self-portrait essentially. It was a garbage project, did not look that great, but as you know me, of course, I had to make it about heritage. So I wanted to do a self-portrait that reflected my Filipino heritage. So I had done some digging because I was thinking, there's no way that all this time we only wrote in like Roman script, you know? So while doing my research, I came across this thing called baybayin. I asked my mom about it and she said that they had never taught about it in schools and she didn't know what it was. So she asked her dad and he said he had heard about it, but he didn't know about it. The resurgence of Filipino culture is only beginning, and this discovery is helping a lot of younger Filipinos, especially Filipino Americans, connect to their roots and be proud of their culture. For a lot of us, Filipino history seems to be taught with the beginning of the Spanish rule, which I mean is kind of because of a borderline cultural genocide. Spanish or vanish, am I right? But this is something pre-colonial. This is something we can actually say is truly ours. Honestly, when I was younger, I actually also had mixed feelings about being Filipino because for me, it was like, who could we defend ourselves against? Obviously not the Spanish, obviously not Japan or the US. I was thinking like, damn, we really can't defend ourselves against anyone. Like for instance, traditional clothes and traditional jewelry are actually kind of hard to get your hands on in the Philippines. And that's why I praise South Asia, because despite the British rule, they still somehow managed to like preserve their culture. I have a couple of questions about the sari top though. But regardless, the revival of baybayin is still a step towards preserving our heritage pre-Spanish bastardization. So anyway, when I was younger, there was not a lot of information available, but I have noticed a sudden interest in like the revival around like 2018, so this is all pretty much very new. In 2018, the Philippines House of Representatives approved baybayin as the national writing system through House Bill 1022. They're trying to incorporate it on local signs, local products, which most of us would think is a good thing, like a step towards progress, but actually it sparked quite a bit of controversy. First of all, although they have updated the script to incorporate modern sounds in Tagalog that weren't present pre-Spanish period, there are still questions about whether we should bother with this new writing system. And on top of that, baybayin is actually from an area where mostly Tagalog is spoken, and there have been complaints that Philippines is becoming a country just for Tagalog speakers. So there is worry that other local identities are going to be wiped out if baybayin becomes mandatory. And growing up in a Tagalog-speaking household, I kind of get it, because I grew up thinking that Tagalog was the national language of the Philippines. I didn't realize that, well, they call it Filipino now, but Tagalog is the foundation of that language. And people who speak other dialects and other languages feel an issue with that. I personally think this is a great way to start the revival of Filipino culture and the beginning of the Filipino wave. Because again, when I was in high school, Philippines was the underdog. Like, we called Filipino pop music P-pop. And I'm pretty sure it was to ride the tail of K-pop. But today we call it OPM, which stands for Original Pinoy Music. So Philippines is trying to make their own mark. They're trying to reclaim their identity. They're trying to push Philippines forward instead of attaching ourselves onto the rest of Asia. And personally, I think they should just pull in India. You know, like in India, the scripts change throughout the provinces, or what you would call it. I think in the Tagalog speaking areas, they should use baybayin, and then in other places, they should use their script. But yeah, I think this is super dope. I think it's a great way to establish our roots and take pride in our heritage pre-Spanish period. And you guys should definitely let me know if you know anything else, because I'm not an anthropologist. I've just done my research and I read some articles. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you found it educational and helpful and resourceful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.